No belief system nowadays, or even till nowadays, ever made people understand or even question that which is affecting them, that which they do not know, or make them strive towards that which they do not know. And unfortunately, such belief systems, they never placed any emphasis on how you feel and what you should know about your emotions, because their purpose is not your emotions or understanding the core of what you are, more or less. See, nowadays we can take some examples, like you can take most religions in a way, or even societal agendas. We can look, for example, at Protestants, right? They sing when it comes to Jesus and to divinity, and it all makes them feel good because they are massed together. They do the same thing, and obviously, they do something different from their own societal chores, their household chores, their job, and in a way, it is their way of connecting to divinity. That activity, right, when they are at their church and they pray like that, it is what gives them a certain sense of joy. When you look at Christianity, they have a different way, right? Because, well, Protestantism is just one of the, as I heard, 88,000 sects, smaller and or bigger parts of Christianity, right? You can't tell me that you just read the Bible and you know everything about Christianity. Well, you're just happily misinterpreting life. When you look at Christianity, they have way other things, ways, methods through which they pray, whatever, depending on the sect that they are, depending on, well, whatever rituals they perform. Those things also grant them a certain sense of joy, if you say, because to a certain extent, each of these follows the same idea. They wish to, in a way, let's say, inappropriately connect with divinity. Well, none of these ever tells you that you're always connected with divinity. Their purpose is not to connect you with divinity, but to remind you that you have such a connection, right? And your connection with divinity, well, emotions are part of the connection with divinity, right? Because when you feel bad, well, you're feeling bad because you're doing things that are reminding you you shouldn't be doing. Your emotions, when you're feeling bad, you're in a way far furthering yourself, distancing yourself from the idea of divinity, not God. You can't care about God and the such. I'm saying about divinity or creation. Let's call it creation, right? Because creation gave you a set of parameters compared to the parameters of the universe? Well, many of them can hurt you, many of these parameters of, let's say, the planet you live in, not only the universe. Many of them will hurt you, many of them will make you feel good, many of them won't have much of an effect on you, but all of these, they exist. When you're focusing on the parameters that are harming you, well, I don't think creation designed you for that purpose, other than, let's say, scientific purposes to simply understand things and learn them from an intellectual side, right? But moving further, well, mm, we can say that you have way more potential than just the intellect. The intellect is a much smaller aspect of you, who you are as a human being, right? When you look, for example, at Islam, right, another great religion of the world, they have their own rituals, they have their own ways of attempting to remind themselves of their connection to divinity. Which of these make them feel joyous, or whether they feel joyous or not, well, it is still an attempt, right? Just like with Christianity and everything else. Everyone tries to remind themselves that they have a certain connection with divinity. When you look at societal agendas, like, for example, feminism or the LGBT movement, they have their own rituals through which they feel that they are connected with creation. Whether they are or not, well, you can't sever your connection with divinity. But ultimately, what they are doing gives them a certain sense of belonging, a certain sense of joy. Whether that it is illusionary, because ultimately each societal agenda nowadays, just like throughout the times, was only designed to have people funneled in, but only to serve some other people's interests, people who lie within the shadows. Well, in the end, that is the problem of everything that becomes a business in the end, because we live in a world that is showing itself more and more as a corporatist world. So every corporation has its agendas behind, and those agendas usually don't seek your well-being, right? You're just one other product, which is sold but at a different price, right? Your price is not only the money, but your price is also the time you're paying, right? Because English doesn't speak as paying time, right? You're paying time, your time, right? Which is ticking away. So, whatever these aspects, see, all of these are just belief systems in the end. The problem with belief systems is there will always be a problem in one simple point, that of emotionally unstable people. When someone is emotionally unstable, they are not rooted in this reality. So to them, it doesn't matter whether it is LGBT belief or whether they believe in Christianity or they believe in Islam or they believe in any other kind of belief of the world, right? I only mention these because they are more commonly known. But someone who is emotionally unstable, they are not gonna root themselves. They can't root themselves in anything, right? They're not even capable of knowing that creation actually exists because the drama that constantly repeats itself in their own minds will be way bigger than creation itself. So to them, it's like creation doesn't even matter, right? Whether they, let's say now, like for 1 week, they will, or let's say for 1 year, they will probably become Protestants, maybe, let's say, they will find some joy and then, well, their emotional imbalance will simply tell them, hey, we're not triggered by this anymore. So, we should change the, well, to them, kind of everything that makes them feel good is going to be like a drug. So they will probably try something else. Maybe they will go to Islam. They will try it for a period of time and then they will move away because they're no longer going to be triggered, right? This is a problem of all belief systems because it's not dealing with people, it's not teaching them how to understand their cores, right? Because if you don't understand how your mind functions, how your emotion functions, you're just going to be a mess. And a mess doesn't need a belief system because you can't root yourself in anything. All meaning will be just drama in your head ultimately because everything that you put into your head will repeat, whether you like it or not. Everything that is physical lives on a cycle, right? As a cycle. A cycle means something that repeats. So your emotions and your mind, if you have unfinished businesses, unsettled aspects in each of these two dimensions of your existence, which are not the only ones, by the way, but these will constantly repeat and will cause your life a lot of misery. So the problem is, well, enjoy your life if you simply can, right? Living a happy life is at most we can call an accident, right? Because when you can't root yourself in anything, you have literally no structure, no stability in your life. And seeking stability, well, only by finding control or becoming controlling of things in an unconscious way can you simply find a certain decent, at most decent way of living your life in a good way. But being controlling is not a good way of living your life, right? So, whether they believe in societal agendas or a religion or any other sort of belief, well, such people, and you can see nowadays that is the trend. That is what people are becoming, right? They're becoming more and more of this, right? Unstable people who simply can't focus on anything, they can't do anything, they can't handle anything. These people won't be able to uh, stabilize themselves in anything, right? People are losing faith in religions anyways because they have been given some virtues to believe in, but unfortunately they were given all sorts of expectations, and expectations aren't gonna be fulfilled because everything you want done in your life you'll have to do it by your own because no one else is gonna do things for you because first and foremost kind of no one knows what the heck you actually need. You're supposed to be the one who knows and you're supposed to be the one who will work for that. You want help, you can ask for it. But without that, no one's gonna know what you're going through, what you're needing. No one's gonna know probably that you actually exist, right? If you don't do some noise and make yourself known in the world. So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You are appreciated. Take care, enjoy life, and while these being said, Ferenc Board signing out.